The Yellow Brick Road. This video does not reflect the actual views of real people. These are actors playing a role to entertain audiences. No persons or animals were harmed in the making of this video. Gosh, I love YouTube and I love Google.
Okay. I don't even know if you can actually see this. There we go. Bill Maher. For the longest time I can remember with looking at Bill Maher's show and his work and stuff, I never liked where he went with his arguments, even when he's correct. Obviously he called out George Bush a lot, which I was like, yeah, that's a good thing. Somewhat called out Obama. But recently, sort of recently, basically when Trump got elected, is when he seems like he threw away all logical thinking and went directly with whatever is against Trump is the right way to go, which sort of substantiated my feelings before, which is that he's not a real like counterculture voice. I think he's very corporate. Even if he honestly believes what he says, it's still, then he's just honestly a corporate Democrat or a corporate political guy. So I found this video today, which I guess is from his show on HBO yesterday, and what should happen, if you think about it, I should be agreeing with most of the points he says. He's talking about the QAnon thing and how it's like, Q says trust Trump no matter what. Trust the plan. 5D chess. Trump is just doing this to outsmart everyone else later. And I agree with basically with all of that, basically. But when it's coming from Bill Maher, it takes a sour taste. It's a different turn for me, and it's hard for me, like, even if the information's correct, it's hard for me to trust anything with Bill Maher. And so if the information's correct, it leads into intentions. What's his point for this? Why is he talking about this? Well, it's probably to push a particular political agenda. One, not saying he's working with the government or working with Democrats or whatever, but I think he's either innately corporate minded or innately I stick with Democrats no matter what minded. I don't believe he's just a comedian, as they all say with like Stephen Colbert or Jon Stewart or whatever late night show host, or John Oliver. These guys are not just comedians. There is a point they're trying to make, and it usually smells sour. Just being honest. Alright, let's look at this. This is Bill Maher sort of mocking the Q whatever. I'm going to sort of point out why I don't like to call people names, but it smells like snake-like behavior to me.
And finally, new rule: if Trump supporters don't want us to call them stupid, they have to stop coming up with things like Q.
You support the Russia story. Like, you're heavy on the Russian bots went on Facebook and made memes and they changed the election around. And you also have to trust the the what's it called, the dossier, where Trump hired hookers to pee on a bed that Obama slept in, and then he went into a bathroom and yelled, "I hate black people." That means you have to agree with that if you're saying Trump is under the control of the Russian government.
Yeah, it was just a few months ago in this space that I was talking about how Republicans are now the conspiracy party, that there's literally nothing so ridiculous they won't swallow.
The Russia story. You are swallowing that as we speak. In fact, you're going to bring it up in this video. You're going to bring up, well, our president works for Putin because he peed on a bed and, or he hired hookers to pee on a bed, and the Russian has that, they have the videotape and they're using it to hold our president hostage so they can set their own global agenda through the United States president. That's your conspiracy theory. This is why, like, I could agree with the information that he says about Q, right? The jokes or whatever. Well, I'm a little less jokey about it, but I can disagree with, you know, the Q movement, that there's some quiet hacker guy or team or whatever that's works for whatever, the State Department. They work for Trump directly, and they're secretly going to take the government back from the corrupt whoever's, the leftists. Yeah, I don't quite believe that. But coming from him is why I'm making this video.
Birth certificate, chemtrails, Jade Helm, lizard people. And now we have Q. What is Q? Well, Q is a person, but we don't know who it is. We just know it's someone with super high Q-level security clearance, so he knows all the shit that goes on in the deep state. Namely, that our government is riddled with a rogue criminal element that is interested in evil in general.
I don't know if they're interested in evil, but they do shitty things. You don't need to look at some hidden cabal of people. You just look at CIA and FBI and their actions throughout the United States history, or since their inception.
But their specialty is pedophilia. And why not? Almost half of Trump voters already believed that Hillary Clinton ran a child sex ring out of a pizza parlor.
Once again, low-hanging fruit. He can easily attack these and whatever, dismantle the argument. It's like, congratulations, man. Do something like, you know, more difficult to research. Look into that. You know, and I'll let him continue. Yeah.
But it turns out that was just the tip of the iceberg, and frankly, it would be easier to find a powerful person who isn't a pedophile. George Soros is one, and so are the Rothschilds, J.P. Morgan, John McCain, the Illuminati, Tom Hanks.
Once again, you're shooting for the low-hanging fruit approach, which is, oh, they're saying they're reptiles and molesters and pedophiles and shit. How about this, Bill? Bill, are they corrupt? Are any of those people corrupt? You know, excluding Tom Hanks and the Illuminati. Look at the names you just named. Are any of those people or institutions or anything corrupt? If they are, why aren't you reporting it? I don't know. Do some research, man.
Steven Spielberg and every president since Reagan. But not Trump. Oh, in the Q world, he's the superhero whose whole life has been a cover so he could be in place to strike back against the pedophile rings.
Yes, there is hero worship of Trump, but there was also hero worship of Obama. And I don't know how much you said during that era. I don't know.
And then it starts to get weird.
once again, places it into a political team playing thing of Democrats versus Republicans. There's a whole assortment of different people out there. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of Q followers and Trump voters were Obama voters prior to that. I don't know. Maybe someone should do research on that. Maybe someone should hire a team of writers and do some research on that.
Because like it or not, we are family, and you are like a brother to me. A sick, alcoholic brother who's lost his fucking mind. Trump rallies these days are full of these Q people holding up signs and defending their theory with ironclad logic.
Maybe it's not true because there's no evidence of it. It's just stuff being talked about on the internet, right?
It's almost like there's no evidence of it, and there's just stuff being talked about in the mainstream news. It's called Russia. The whole Russiagate story. I don't know.
There hasn't been any non-evidence yet.
That's the same exact thing for the Russia story. It's the same. It's literally the same fucking thing. It's like, well, we can't prove he didn't collude with Russia.
You heard the lady, there's no non-evidence. Oh, for fuck's sake, I like you people better when you're just religious nuts. I mean, can we have the old religion back? Church is full of horrible, ridiculous ideas, but it's better than Reddit. I mean, really? The man they think is combating pedophilia is this guy?
By the way, he's probably done little to investigate spirituality in any way. But it's, once again, he goes for the low-hanging fruit. You know, religions are anti-gay or anti-abortion or whatever political talking point he can use to pick at low-hanging fruit. It's like, oh, these people believe dinosaurs didn't exist. It's like, good job, Bill. You saved the world, man. You saved us from that. Good job.
I've said that if Ivanka were my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
She's 6 feet tall. She's got the best body.
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that.
But wait. Remember what the dear leader keeps telling us.
What you're seeing and what you're reading is not what's happening.
Not what's happening. Not what's happening. Not what's happening.
Gee, I have no idea, but gee, I hope he played the Rachel Maddow, where it's like, I think someone chopped up an entire, like, one episode of her show to where she says Russia like 100 fucking times. Russia, Putin, communism, says like these keywords over and over and over again. And yeah, I probably agree with most of his points. He just, you know, stops. They will stop their research right at where they'll stop their research right at where it'll like just be enough for their political point to get there of Trump is bad. Like, you could easily do small amounts of research and look up like Jeffrey Epstein and how he was connected to Trump. But if you do that, then you have to connect them to Bill Clinton and all these other whatever powerful guys. All right.
Just posing as a disgusting pervert for the last half-century. To gain credibility so we can go after the real perverts now. The most important thing to always remember is that everything is the opposite of what it appears. Every time Trump appears to be a dumb-bumbling idiot, that's evidence of the exact opposite. The exact opposite. The exact opposite.
So you have a guy who's protected here. He can say whatever insulting things, and he has first of all, he has a mass audience that will dick ride whatever the fuck he says. And he's also a filthy rich guy with security guards everywhere. And yeah.
The FBI are the traitors. The real patriots are in Russia.
So you believe everything the FBI says? How about the CIA? How about the NSA? Or is that not on the political agenda? So you only question them when it suits your story. You won't be as, like, even-handed as possible, to where you look at everything and come to either a belief or a conclusion or something like that. You'll just only go as far as what makes Trump look bad. Even this whole segment is about making Trump look bad. If Q had nothing to do with Trump and it was about, I don't know, some random governor in Massachusetts somewhere that had no aspirations to being in, like, you know, a super high level politician, just a small town or small place governor or whatever, you would not be talking about it. It's just to get at Trump, basically.
Trump is clean. Mueller is dirty. The only thing that would make more sense would be finding out that a Trump-loathing conservative beta like me is Q.
Mueller sold you the WMD story. I don't think I need to add anything after that.
Which is why it is true. I am Q.
By the way, Bill Maher shits on, like, voting third party, too. You should have voted for Hillary Clinton, who's like a very obviously corrupt person. Or, I don't want to say corrupt person. Has committed a shitload of corrupt actions. Pretty blatant. I mean, the "we came, we saw, he died" thing should have been obvious on every level of person. Someone who doesn't even care about politics. The moral, just looking at that morally, you're like, what the fuck is that? But he won't go there because he needs to make Trump look bad. So it could literally be a lizard person running against Trump, and he will shit on Trump because he's a filthy rich, I stick to the parties, left and right, bullshit artist. Nah. Or at least he acts that way.
You don't believe me? Just ask yourself, is there any non-evidence that I'm not
Now, look at this part pretty closely and replace the context of Q and replace it with Russian hackers, and you'll see the joke, the unintended joke of this.
my entire life has been a sham and gave me the perfect cover to be your source for what's really happening in America. The drugs, the atheism, stuff in the Playboy Mansion. I did that to throw everybody off the set. I'm actually a Presbyterian who goes to church every Sunday with my wife and our homeschooled twins, Margaret and Thatcher. The pot I smoke is oregano, and the jokes in my monologue are actually coded messages. Except for the ones about Chris Christie being fat. Those I just like to tell. So, now that you real Americans know the truth, I, Q, need your help to make America great again.
A bunch of computer whiz people in hoodies went on their computers and created memes and spread them throughout Facebook and YouTube and Twitter, and somehow shifted the election process. They skewed it somehow. That's his conspiracy theory story. That one makes sense, but this one doesn't. Think about it.
Keep posting your memes, keep believing everything Trump tells you, and above all,
keep believing everything the FBI and the CIA tell you. There was WMDs.
on Tuesday, November 6th, stay at home.
Once again, just plays the political game. Voting is the most important thing in human history. Because he's a filthy rich, I'm surrounded by fans and bodyguards. That's this guy. Mr. Bubble.
Do not leave your house on November 6th for any reason, even to buy vape juice. If you...
Definitely don't vote third party. Don't do that. You're taking away votes from maybe the most corrupt candidate in U.S. history. Or the most blatantly corrupt candidate in U.S. history. Yeah. Don't vote third party. Or you're voting for the Russians.
Have a basement, go there, or better, get in the trunk of your car, close it, and don't leave for whatever reason. Just stay in the trunk of your car until you hear from me. Stay in the trunk. Stay in the trunk.
Yeah, I'm done with this bullshit. It's... yeah. Oh, we delayed. Alright guys, that's my mini rant. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, or don't like, subscribe, comment. Bill Maher might be a tool. Qanon sounds like BS. And I wonder if Bill Maher's audience is just a recording of cheers. With all that said, give this video a thumbs